Choosing and grilling the perfect steak is simple when you know what to look for. I'm Chef Gavin with the Certified Angus Beef brand, and I'm going to give you some time-tested tips that will help you stake your claim to the title of Grill Master. I have a nice selection of steaks here, and while they're all a little different, every one of them is good on the grill. There's a lot of beef cuts that are labeled as steaks, but that doesn't always mean they're good for grilling. Sometimes it just means they're roasts cut down to a smaller size. What we have here are the best for grilling. You'll recognize them as the same ones you see at steakhouses. First, we have the strip steak. It's sometimes known as a New York strip or Kansas City strip. No matter what you call it, it delivers classic, robust, beefy flavor. It can be cut to any thickness, but in my opinion, it's best at about 1.5 inches thick. I also want to point out the marbling. That's the little white flecks within the meat and what the Certified Angus Beef brand is known for. Marbling is full of flavor, and you want a lot of it, because as the steaks cook, marbling melts to make every bite juicy and flavorful. Next is the tenderloin steak, which you'll often hear called the filet mignon or just filet. It has a characteristic round appearance. As the name implies, it's the most tender beef cut of them all, and that's why a lot of people love this steak. It's also lean and has a mild flavor. If you can't decide between the strip or the filet, go for a porterhouse or T-bone. They're actually two steaks in one. A strip steak on one side of the famous T-shaped bone and a tenderloin on the other. What's the difference between a T-bone and a porterhouse? The porterhouse has a larger portion of the filet than the T-bones do. Finally, we have the ribeye steak. This is my favorite. Ribeyes can be boneless or bone-in. Ribeyes are full of naturally robust flavor thanks to their generous marbling. They're also naturally tender and juicy. See how the ribeye has two parts? There's the big eye in the center, as well as the thinner piece, known as the spinalis, that wraps around the outside. A lot of chefs say that that's the best piece of meat you can get. It's time to get grilling. First, preheat your grill. You want it nice and hot to get a good sear on the steaks. While that's going, I'm going to season my steaks with a generous amount of kosher salt and fresh cracked pepper. You can season your steaks any way you like, but salt and pepper are all you need when you have a steak with as much marbling and natural flavor as this. I just want to enhance that, not cover it up. The grill is hot, so I'm going to put the steaks on. I like to use tongs since it gives me more control. Listen to that sizzle. After a minute or two, depending on the thickness of your steaks, it's time to turn them. You'll know they're ready when they release easily from the grates. If they stick, give them a little longer. When you flip your steak, you should hear it sizzle again. Listen. Same thing on this side. Give it a little bit of time to get a nice, flavorful crust on the outside. The only way to know if your steak is done to the doneness you want is to use an instant read thermometer. Carefully put it in the center of the steak so that you get a true reading. I recommend medium or medium rare. You'll want to take your steaks off the grill about 5 degrees shy of your target temperature. As you let the steaks rest a few minutes before serving, the juices will redistribute and the steak's temperature will continue to rise those 5 degrees. You'll end up at the perfect doneness. There you have it, a perfect steak. With a few tips, it's easy to achieve grilling greatness.